I came across a video on Facebook the other day. It was a female rapper and she was rapping about having intercourse during her menstrual cycle. It was not this particular video, by the way. And on the video, it was really disturbing because she had on a short skirt and you could see the string of the tampon string hanging underneath. I found it disturbing, but it seems like it's a trend. Because there goes Cardi B. Same thing happened to her. And also Chloe. You think that common sense would tell you that maybe you shouldn't wear certain outfits when you're on your cycle. That's what leads me to believe that this is done purposely. They're trying to make it sexy. They're trying to push you having sex when you're on your menstrual cycle. And why is that? Because it goes against the Levitical law. You must not approach a woman in her menstrual impurity to have sexual intercourse with her. Also, this is a good video if you're interested. You can find it on YouTube. It shows that how our people were keeping with Levitical law when the colonizers came. So according to Levitical law, after giving birth and also when you're on your menstrual cycle, we are considered unclean. So there's a time that the woman and the men are meant to be kept apart. And that's exactly what our tribal brothers and sisters were doing. They were keeping with the law. So I will be covering blood today, and I will show you this is a ritual for the goddess, a sacrifice for the goddess. So remember when Kim Kardashian introduced the world to the vampire facials? And that's why we're not supposed to have any idols. Because people tend to follow their idols, whatever they do. How about when the Kardashians introduced the world to eating your placenta? There happens to be witchcraft. How about this trend that I came across last year, using your menstrual blood as a facial mask? And I came across a couple of doctors that said not to do this because this would give you an infection. Of course it would. Menstrual masking, often known as what? Moon masking. The fertility goddess. She goes by many names, and you see there, moon. Moon masking. So the very top, Isis and Horus. Horus sounds very similar to Horus for Horus, goddess mother whore. You know that they were temple prostitutes, right? They would have sex, get pregnant, and sacrifice it to their gods. How about Countess Elizabeth Bathory? How she would kill the young virgins and she would bathe in their blood so that she could retain her beauty and her youth. And you guys are aware that that has not gone away. The blood consumption to keep people young has not gone away. His sorcerers then tell him if he uses the blood of little children into his wounds, it will heal him. So Satan approached Eve first, and she fell, and she caused Adam to fall. So you could say that Satan, from the beginning of time, has been using the woman to cause the man to fall. A couple of good examples is King Solomon and Queen Sheba. King Sheba helped to split the kingdom. How about Samson and Delilah? How about David and Bathsheba? He was watching her bathe and he was lusting for her, and he set up a husband, and he got killed in war. Because when he laid with her, he got her pregnant. Beyonce, Renaissance tour. On top of the horse, how symbolic. And you do know that Renaissance means rebirth, right? As in rebirth of a nation, as in the Great Reset, New World Order. And I don't know how you can't see that this is not the same person. I remember when she started out black. And they be cloning people since forever. And there's also synthetic people. For instance, the old Jamie Foxx, he had a tattoo on the back of his neck. The new one doesn't. So a couple more names that the fertility goddess goes by is Colombia, as in the District of Colombia, and Libertad for the Statue of Liberty. She happens to sit on top of a star because she's also the Virgin Mary. And Mary means Mara, which means the star of the sea. Because Joshua HaMashiach's mother's real name was Miriam, not Mara. These are marine spirits. That's why the Catholic Church has holy water. They baptize people in water. You better be careful who's laying hands on you, who's baptizing you. What kingdom you're dedicating yourself and your children to. Don't be drowned by the waters, guys. Remember that Jah gave us the ability to choose between life and death. And Joshua gives you life. He is the living waters.
Oshan. Now this is going to take me just a little minute, but this Oshan, this is the spirit behind the BLM and everything you seeing happening in America right now. Everything you see in the street, all the protests, everything. It's one spirit that has taken over America, and it is Oshan. I remember when Beyonce was pregnant a few years ago, She dressed up like her and did all it. Well, they did a whole ritual on the Grammy Awards, the American Music Awards, and ushered this spirit in. And now this spirit is what is prevalent in our society. Oshan, also spelled Osan, is an Orisha a deity of the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria. Oshan is commonly called the river Orisha, or goddess, in the Yoruba religion, and is typically associated with water, purity, fertility, love, and sensuality. She is considered one of the most powerful of all Orishas, and like other gods, she possesses human attributes such as vanity, jealousy, and spite. She is commonly described as the favorite of all Orishas by Oladarmi, which is the god of this mythology, African mythology. Those that want children or who may suffer from infertility usually call on Oshan for assistance. This is what Beyonce did to get pregnant. And she is associated with the concept of femininity and the power of women. More widely, she is sought after in times of drought and severe poverty. The water spirit of Oshan drowns men. This spirit is invoked to emasculate men, put them under the power of women. Women use sensuality and seduction to lure them in and influence him to follow her lead. She manipulates and leads men down paths of worthlessness, shame, blame, and most important, what? Mental illness. This spirit, that's why the man is always just totally emasculated, like Jay-Z, just sitting there, just mind gone. Spirit comes to lead men away from God, just as Eve did in the garden. Her symbolism, the snake, represents the serpent in the garden. The eagle represents the rise of the women in the power. The blood sacrifices are used to appease this goddess. Abortion, issues of blood, fibroids, tumors, cervical diseases, infertility are all living sacrifices of blood to this spirit. She forces women that do not comply with her will by holding their wombs hostage until the woman invokes her spirit. She causes promiscuity and sexual folly in women to rob men of their masculine energy. This spirit needs male energy to strive financially and have earthly success that resembles male ego and fortitude. And it also switches between male.
It got cut off. It goes between male and female. Jono Sensibil.
I tried to change. Closed my mouth more. Tried to be softer, prettier, less awake. Fasted for 60 days. Wore white. Abstained from mirrors. Abstained from sex. Slowly did not speak another word. In that time, my hair I grew past my ankles. I slept on a mat on a floor. I swallowed a sword. I levitated. Went to the basement, confessed my sins and was baptized in a river. Got on my knees and said amen and said I mean. I whipped my own back and asked for dominion at your feet. I threw myself into a volcano. I drank the blood and drank the wine. I sat alone and begged and bent at the waist for God. I crossed myself and thought I saw the devil. I grew thick in skin on my feet. I bathed in bleach and plugged my menses with pages from the holy book, but still inside me, coiled deep, was the need to know.
For months now, everyone's been stopping the music video period sex from happening.
Period sex.
Mom! Oh my God!
Period sex.
Okay, so, but the joke's on them.
What just happened?
Because now, they're all in the music video period sex. Period sex. Period sex. Put down a towel.